Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the Monday Market Update, where we update you about the market on a Monday. My name is Sean Grapevine, and I am one of the sales leaders here at UMortgage, and we're excited to have you aboard. Hope you didn't stay up too late watching a real nail biter of the replay of the Portuguese bicycle race that I spent my morning watching, or the Super Bowl, which is not quite as popular or famous, but still important nonetheless. Today, I'm joined by a man who needs no introduction, but who will have to suffer through one anyway. If I'm the Andy Reid of UMortgage, then John is Travis Kelce screaming in my face to keep him in the game and send him more locks. He's saucier than the burnt ends at Jack Stack Barbecue just down the street and nearly as satisfying to be around. He's the terror of the T-bill, the MBA of the MBS. He's the Helios of the HELOC, the discipler of the DSCR, and the locksmith of the lock desk. John, welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning. I'm going to do my best. I'm going to just make this as easy on you as possible today. I'm going to try and do most of the talking. I know that you behaved responsibly last night, that you just caught up on the highlights of the Chiefs game this morning because it ended past your bedtime, and that you did not let the excitement or emotions get to your head or whiskey.
Yes, correct. Yeah, just even keeled. I maintained my boundaries. In bed at 9 o'clock. Got to be on the same page as you and the sales team this morning.
I'm I'm proud of you for doing so. But I guess before we dive in, I mean, how are you feeling? It feels great to have a sports team win a national championship.
I was going to try to make a Chiefs mortgage rates joke comparison, and I got nothing because this doesn't compare to what low interest rates look like. There it is. I squeezed it in. But the Chiefs, it's great. Kansas City is a buzz. Kids didn't sleep last night. Parents didn't sleep last night. Meetings are getting canceled. It's a great day to be in Kansas City.
Man, I'm pretty jealous. We've had one championship in the last 20, 30 years here in Atlanta. So unless you count our MLS one, which is like a half a championship, we've had one and a half in the last 30 years. So I'm itching for that feeling again. It's a great one. Well, speaking of national points of interest, let's talk about the economy and how it affects our loan officers. How's that for a segue? We'll recap last week quickly. Nothing happened, and
nothing.
We can move on. There were jobless claims, which was the one thing on there. I mean, they come out weekly, so it's not even like a huge thing. But the one thing on there that could have really moved the needle didn't move the needle. We had Fed speakers speaking. Again, not really much needle moving. I'd be surprised if the 10-year was off by 2 bips in either direction throughout the course of the week. But that's because people were patiently waiting for what is coming this week. What do we have on tap this week, Mr. Arnsmeyer?
Yes, we have. Well, the big one is CPI tomorrow morning. There's an anticipation there might be a bump, just a little bit, but we don't know. So, but again, CPI tomorrow. Thursday we've got jobless claims and retail sales numbers, and then Friday we've got PPI, and then the housing and building permits from January.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised with the CPI bump. I mean, we saw consumer spending was up, and 335,000, jobs created. And the jobs creation number, obviously, the January ones, 2 years running now, people have some beef with how they are calculated, that kind of thing. But I think it can be comfortably said that the U.S. certainly didn't lose any jobs and probably added on at a faster pace than usual in January. So when people have jobs and their incomes go up and they're spending more money, one would think that the goods that they're competing to purchase would become more expensive. It would stand to reason. It'd be surprising to see a reduction in price. So we will see if there is that the bump in CPI, and that'll spell that's really going to be one of the main factors going forward that informs a March rate decision. Well, before we talk about the March rate decision, let's talk about the other things here. So we've got jobless claims on Thursday, and then PPI, which is tell us about
I just went brain dead.
So PPI is
take me home. Lead the conversation.
I got you. He's just setting me up.
I was gearing up for a different conversation. Sorry.
No, you're good. PPI is the purchaser's price index, which is, hey, how much does it cost to buy the stuff, to make the stuff that people buy at varying prices? So it is a leading indicator, as far as I know, of where CPI could go. Now, last month, if I remember correctly, was quite low and came in below expectations. So if it's costing purchasers, right, or producers rather, less money to produce something, then those things often cost less, because that's how competition works. So that conflicting information on both of those. Last month PPI kind of saved our bacon when CPI came in a touch hotter than expected, and it may do so again. We've got jobless claims, we've got housing starts, and all of these things are kind of pieces of the puzzle that the Fed puts together and then flips over to look at the picture that's been painted to see, hey, are we going to raise or lower or keep rates the same in March? I mean, it's seeming to me. What are your thoughts on March?
Well, that's what that's part of the reason why I went brain dead, because I was anticipating we were going to shift to the whole picture. So thank you for saving my bacon on that one. But yeah, I think we have to take the broader picture and say, hey, yeah, CPI may have a little bit of a bump tomorrow. But yeah, you're looking at it, and I've already forgotten your question, Sean, but because again, little sleep last night. So I think
today's your day, buddy.
There we go. We're champions. But like, if you're just looking at how this impacts us daily, it's last week we talked that it was the week of the speaker, and talking about being the prisoner of the moment. We might want to hang our hat on CPI or housing or jobless and all these different things, whatever your flavor is. But the truth is we just need to step back and look at how things are going across the board. And right now, the Fed, after the last meeting, the markets were starting to say, hey, there's probably not going to be a March rate cut. We're going to push that to May. And I think we said it was like, 25% for a March rate cut. I would not be surprised. It's going to be even less than that. I don't know what the number is.
Let's hear a guess.
I mean, I would guess it's at maybe 10%.
Not quite that dire, but 15.5, which honestly may as well be 10. I mean, I don't know who those people are. Like, are they looking at different information? I think after CPI and after PPI come out, I think that'll set the stage. And unless there's a huge beat on either of those, like, there's not going to be a rate change in March.
No. And to steal a term from the liturgical calendar, it feels like that we are entering into a period called normal time. We had this wild, the inflation rates, all the different holiday seasons, all this stuff. And right now it feels like the market wants to just have some normalcy for a while. So I know we have these conversations around CPI and PPI. Again, it's just like maybe the economy just needs to have some quiet time, some normal time to get balanced.
And as we all know from the liturgical calendar, which I definitely knew was a thing before right now, the first part of normal or ordinary time begins right after the Feast of the Epiphany, and it runs until Shrove Tuesday, which obviously I don't even know why I felt like I needed to say that. We all know that. Clear
Common knowledge.
Common knowledge. So it should be an interesting week. Let's dive into the start to put you out of your misery here and coast towards a close here. What as far as float versus lock, you've got four big numbers coming out this week. 10 years at 4.16 as of this morning. What do you think?
Yeah, I think, again, my preference is going to be, especially heading into tomorrow morning, I think today is going to be a good lock day because people are going to be holding their breath. There's not going to be much movement. We know where things stand based off of last week. But tomorrow morning, if we do see that bump, there might be a little bit of an increase in rates just because people get reactive to that. So I think today is a great day to lock. And then we'll see how the rest of the week goes after tomorrow.
Hey man, if you like it, lock it. Even if you don't like it, lock it, because we got the best float down policy in the entire industry, which is called competing lenders. We don't want to pull locks from them, but hey, our clients and our pipeline are our first priorities. So like it, lock it today. if rates go down and the renegotiation policy at your lender isn't good enough, move that sucker. So I'm in a complete agreement, and we should see a fair amount of volatility starting tomorrow morning at 8:30 a.m. with the CPI release. We've got jobless numbers on Thursday, Friday, PPI at 8:30. I think housing starts also at 8:30. Sometimes those come out at 10.
I think everything was locked up at the same 8:30, but that's okay. It's
You're right.
Today, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. Those are our big days. Those are the big mornings.
All right, we'll stay glued to those screens, everybody. Jon, again, congratulations. Big day. Hey, nobody can be mean to you today. Nobody should be mean to you ever, but especially today.
We're on the same team.
Same team. Everybody, I hope you have a fantastic day. Remember, if you like it, lock it. Let's go get some loans, everybody. Have a great one.
Take care.